Okay, let's dive into this. Today, we are exploring an absolutely masterful and honestly haunting blend of mystery, survival, and culture. We're looking at the Townsguard Curse. It's a gripping novel that takes your classic horror framework and just injects it with an incredible amount of emotional depth. If you love a tightly woven mystery box narrative, the kind where literally every single detail matters, you're going to want to pay close attention to this explainer. As a reader, I absolutely loved it, so we'll be breaking down its fascinating characters and exploring exactly why this world is so compelling. And don't worry, we are keeping this spoiler-free. I won't give away any of the ultimate secrets.
Right off the bat, I want you to just imagine living in a place where your very survival depends on three chilling, unspoken rules. Don't ask questions, don't break the balance, and never cross the forest after sundown. I mean, wow. That instantly hooks you, right? It drops us right into the thick of the tension from page one. This isn't just your standard spooky setting, it's a town held hostage by its own history. The people living there have learned the hard way that ignorance is pretty much the only thing keeping them alive.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the specific, eerie pattern of the curse we're dealing with. The author doesn't just throw random chaos at these characters. The stakes are terrifyingly methodical. You have these strange, completely inexplicable illnesses striking down the town's young girls, and the grown men, well, they vanish completely without a trace exactly on their 40th birthdays. All the while, this ghostly entity just watches. It literally just watches from the edge of the forest. This setup is just brilliant because it gives the creeping dread a literal ticking clock.
Section 1. Welcome to the Cursed Town.
So, to set the scene, this is a forgotten place nestled right at the edge of a forbidden forest. It's the kind of environment where the boundary between worlds grows incredibly thin and shadows literally seem to move on their own. We've got a market square that serves as the heart of daily life, sure, but it also acts as a somber, constant reminder of the vanished men. And then there is the ancient gate. It's marked with these symbols of protection, but the terrifying rumor going around is that this gate wasn't actually built to keep strangers out. No, it was built to keep something in. As darkness falls, the only barrier between the town and whatever is lurking out there is the dim glow of the town guard's lantern.
Section 2. The Guardians and the Lost.
What really makes this narrative work so incredibly well aren't just the monsters, but the people desperately trying to hold that darkness back. Take our protagonist, Sohaib. He is the town guard, born into a long lineage of protectors, so he's carrying this massive, heavy ancestral duty on his shoulders every single night. But the curse is also deeply personal for him. When his best friend Kareem vanishes right on schedule for his 40th birthday, Sohaib is essentially forced to confront the curse head-on. As a reader, you really feel how he is completely torn between his sworn duty to protect the town and his own impending doom.
And standing right beside him is his fearless wife, Alina. I have to say, I absolutely love her character. She doesn't have magical powers, she doesn't have an ancient glowing sword. No, she is armed with fierce intuition, a sheer determination to uncover forgotten truths, and a trusty frying pan. It's amazing. It adds this wonderful, surprisingly relatable human touch to the terrifying supernatural stakes. When Zohab gets overwhelmed, it is Alina's absolute refusal to let the darkness take her husband that becomes his salvation. Her courage is honestly the heartbeat of the book.
Section 3. A Community in the Shadows. Let's move to Tanandio and see how this builds with the rest of the town.
Because a town is so much more than just its primary protectors, right? And the supporting cast here is phenomenal. These townsfolk add such a rich, realistic flavor to the whole mystery. You have Hazmat, the Jewish merchant. He's highly sarcastic, constantly bickering, but he ultimately steps up to help translate these ancient texts. Then there's Inspector Druve, this methodical policeman who is painfully forced to accept undeniable supernatural patterns. We have Kareem, the butcher who acts as the loyal emotional anchor, and Dr. Syra, the incredibly calm doctor who just documents these bizarre illnesses. The curse basically forces everyone, skeptics, men of science, ordinary workers, to face the darkness together.
Section 4. South Asian Supernatural Themes.
Taking a step back for a second to evaluate author Larai Rabbani's storytelling, just look at this beautifully imposing cover. What the author has achieved here is truly special. They've taken a very classic horror setup, the isolated haunted town, the cursed forest, and seamlessly woven in this unique South Asian cultural folklore. It grounds all the supernatural elements in deep generational history. So the entities don't just feel like random, disposable monsters. They feel ancient. They feel deeply rooted in the culture of the town itself and tied to historical sacrifices.
And this brilliantly illustrates the perfect balance the book strikes. On one side, you have pure, unadulterated supernatural horror. We're talking ghostly entities demanding dark sacrifices and a constant creeping dread. But on the exact opposite side, balancing it out so it doesn't just feel bleak and depressing, is pure community and heart. You have deep, lifelong friendships, rich South Asian themes, and a really profound marital devotion between Zohaib and Alina. It is not just a story about surviving monsters, it is a story about holding onto your humanity when the world around you goes completely dark.
Section 5. Who should read this?
So the crucial point is this. If any of these traits describe you, you absolutely need to add this to your reading list. Fans of supernatural horror and dark fantasy? You will devour the tense atmosphere. Readers looking for fresh, unique perspectives? You're going to find the South Asian folklore deeply satisfying. And anyone who just loves a solid mystery driven by real, tangible emotional stakes will not be able to put it down. Best of all, if you want to jump right in today, the Townsguard Curse is currently free to read on Amazon Kindle. For sure, it is a highly recommended journey into the unknown. I'll leave you with this final, lingering question. Is the Townsguard Curse just an old piece of folklore created to keep people in line, or is it a reality that is far darker, older, and way more hungry than the town ever realized? To find out what actually happens to Zohaib, Alina, and the rest of the brave residents, you are going to have to venture past that ancient gate yourself. Dive into the mystery, uncover those forgotten truths, and remember, whatever you do, never cross the forest after sundown. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and as always, keep learning and stay curious.